I'm Krystal Brooks, and this is Octavia. I first got involved with Heartbeat of Toledo when I went to Your First Look to find out that I was pregnant with my son. It was a surprise because I was on the depot shot, and I had never planned on having kids. I'd actually been talking about getting my tubes tied with my doctor about 2 weeks before because I didn't think that they were going to be part of my life. And then after I found out I was pregnant with Odin, I went through the heart-to-heart classes. So when I found out I was pregnant with Odin, I was actually working 3 jobs and going to school to become an EMT. And I didn't have a car because that had caught on fire, so there was a lot of things happening with bike riding, and so kids just weren't in my future. I never planned on them, and with being an EMT, I didn't ever want to risk dying on the job and leaving my kids without a mom. So I decided that I didn't want kids. And so I was talking to my doctor about getting my tubes tied, and this was during COVID, so everything was virtual. And she said that I had to wait a year, and then if I was still sure in a year, then she would refer me to somebody who would do it. In November of 2020, I got sick, and I thought I had COVID because I lost my sense of smell and my sense of taste. But I didn't have COVID or the flu or strep or mono. Nothing. So I went home and I was like, it'd be really funny if I took a pregnancy test right now. And then I took a pregnancy test and it was positive, and it was not so funny all of a sudden because I was like, oh, no, this is actually positive. And then I didn't know where to go from there because all of a sudden my life wasn't going the way that I had planned. So I was really scared, and then I went to Your First Look and they confirmed it. And as soon as I heard his little heartbeat, I knew that my entire life was about to change. And it's changed for the better. And then I was on the patch with her when I got pregnant, so I went to Your First Look again, and they confirmed it again. But this time I was a little bit more prepared, even though I wasn't expecting another baby. So I don't regret them at all, though. So they're the best part of my life. So I think some unique aspects to my story are that I was on birth control with both my pregnancies. With her, I was on birth control and breastfeeding, which is supposed to be not 100%, but it's supposed to help decrease your chances of pregnancy. So with both of them, there was no expectation that I was going to get pregnant. And then with Odin, it was during COVID, so that was a whole experience of itself because it was very isolating at times. Because of being able to contact people at heart to heart, I was able to not feel so alone during times. And the people at Your First Look, when I found out with him, were very welcoming and understanding, and they laid out all the options. So I'm really grateful for all that. So if I didn't have Heartbeat when I got pregnant with Odin, things probably would have been a lot different. I was already considering adoption with him because I was working 3 jobs and I didn't have a car and I was riding my bike everywhere. And I technically could have got a baby seat for him to be on a bike with me, but also I got hit by a car while I was riding my bike, and that's not something I would want him to go through. And I was going to school to be an EMT, and I finished my program. But without heart to heart, I probably would have just given up and just lost pretty much everything because I didn't know what to do with my future at that point because my entire world had got flipped upside down. I had imagined myself without him at my Thanksgiving table because that's what they always tell you. They tell you, imagine 20 years from now, a Thanksgiving table, and if it's full, you're okay, you're done having kids, and you'll be content. And when I imagined my Thanksgiving table without him in it, I just didn't feel like I was going to be happy with my life if I had given him up for adoption. So I decided to try on and do my best and try to give him the best life that I could give him. So, and then me and his dad are both very, very grateful that we did not go either of those routes. I think my favorite part of my family life right now is with our newest addition. Her big brother every morning wakes up and walks over to her where she's sleeping and goes, "Oh, good morning, my beautiful Octavia Jean." And he just loves her so much. And he's so smart. He knows all of his letters and his numbers. He can count to 23, just a very random number, but he can count to 23. And he's starting to read already. He just turned 2. So I just love being able to watch them grow and interact with each other and see how much they love each other. So I think I would have I would have had a really hard time living with the guilt if I would have put him up for adoption or aborted him. Because I've always suffered with depression, and like right now I have postpartum depression. So the thought of neither of them being here just makes my heart break. And to the donors, I would just like to say thank you for everything. Without their contributions, I probably wouldn't have been able to get a private ultrasound and found out that I was pregnant and been able to be supported through Heart to Heart. And so there's a pretty good chance that neither of them would have been here today, because without him, she wouldn't have been here. So I just want to say thank you, and your contributions really make a big difference to a lot of people's lives. And they've definitely made a huge impact in ours and our families. So thank you.